and we want you to. We will be traveling with this trip, so we'll be your kind of like your host, and we want to make sure that you get the full information so that you can tell other people, friends, family, that may want to go to Ireland and Scotland and go with us and have a great trip. So we're gonna take it over to Jerry.
Thanks so much, guys. And thanks, everybody. We have a nice big crowd on the line. A quick reminder to anybody watching our recording. Thank you so much. Everything we talk about is subject to timing and availability. So if you're watching the recording, just reach out to Jennifer and Mike and they can set you up. They picked a fantastic tour. Again, my name is Jerry with CIE Tours. And today's a favorite day for me because I get to introduce one of my all-time top favorite places. To you some of my favorite hotels as well as visitor attractions and experiences. But again, if you like what we talk about, reach out to Jennifer and Mike. They will make this dream a reality for you. And here we go. It's the Taste of Scotland and Ireland. I get to talk about this part of the world all day, 5 days a week. I mean, I love it. But I always start with our map because the world is a big place and it's nice to know where this tour is going to visit. We're going to begin in Glasgow, up into the Scottish Highlands, back down to Edinburgh. And then, we're going to take a big old ferry from Carnryan to Belfast, down to Dublin, through the Midlands, and then over to Ireland's Wild Atlantic Way, Killarney, over to the Cliffs of Moher, an overnight in Limerick, and ending in Dublin. Again, it's easy to see this is one of our top selling tours. It's so popular. And let's jump into it. Okay, so what makes CIE Tours special and, in my opinion, better than the competition? I think the best thing is that everything you see tonight that I talk about is included. Not to mention, you will be traveling in style, modern Mercedes motor coach, with true travel experts. These are people that have been bringing people to their part of the world for a long time. The company's been around for over 90 years. Yep, that's a long time. We've been working with the same hotels, visitor attractions for all that time, which means you guys get the best rates possible and really lovely experiences and service. So there's my friend Graham. He's one of our tour directors in Scotland. He's a former middle school teacher and principal. So he is a lot of fun to travel with. You can imagine he has great stories. Our guests agree that we are the way to go. 95% guest satisfaction rating. What does that mean? At the end of every tour that we operate, we give our guests little surveys. We want to know how they found everything from their hotels to meals, entertainment, including walking tours, right? Everything. And right now that number is at 95%. Our guests are very satisfied. In fact, many people come back and become repeat guests. We have offices in Morristown, New Jersey, and then, of course, Dublin in Ireland and London, England. And we are owned by the Irish government, so don't let my accent fool you. Authentically Irish owned and operated. The people that will take you throughout the countries are from these places. They've lived there their whole lives or for a very long time. Blue badge certified professional guides. And they have such a passion for the destinations and it truly shines, right? Storytelling, some jokes maybe, sometimes even some singing. While the locations themselves are the star of the show. As you can see, there's Simon there. He's from Northern Ireland. Our guests love our guides. And you know what? Check us out on, just type in Google ChatGPT. You are going to see lovely feedback from people. Again, all about their driver guides. All inclusive. What does that mean? Well, it is something that makes us different than the competition. It means everything you see in the day-by-day itinerary, everything I show you tonight, it's all included in your land tour price. I love that. I have traveled with CIE personally using vacation time. For me, it's fabulous. I don't have to drive. I love that. But I also know everything's included. I don't have to keep paying for things along the route each day. Not only does it save you some money, you're also saving some time. Imagine you get to a cute little restaurant or a pub for a drink or afternoon tea. And, you walk in, you have to get squared away, settled in. That could take some time, not to mention paying the bill. If an afternoon tea is included with your tour, it's already paid for. So right on in you go and you enjoy. You pull up to the castle, you go on in. You're not buying a ticket. It allows you to really enjoy the vacation and you don't have to keep paying for things. It allows your tour director, your driver guide to focus on everybody enjoying the tour. So we love that. It does make us different. Something else that makes us different, our documentation. That's right. You'll get this about 3 to 4 weeks prior to departure date. Everybody that travels with us gets this cute little backpack and all the goodies inside. So, yep, you're going to get a poncho because it does rain in this part of the world. And yes, you can get all 4 seasons in one day, both in Scotland as well as in Ireland. So if you have that poncho and you dress in layers, I promise you'll be comfortable. You'll be good to go. A luggage strap, luggage tags, and a little electronic converter. That's what's in that little orange box. I promise you guys, I have purchased the fancy schmancy ones at Best Buy online. Which one do I end up using year after year when I'm overseas? My CIE one. That's right. It's easy to use. The orange box is easy to spot, as your room might get a little crazy, right? Or the luggage gets a little crazy. Easy to spot, easy to use. And our reusable water bottles. Those are fantastic. So throughout Ireland, as well as all of Britain, Scotland's and Britain, you're going to see more and more water refilling stations, not just at the airports, but at your hotels. Sometimes they have one on each floor if you're in a bigger hotel. Otherwise, there might be a refilling station in a common area near the gym, elevator banks. Of course, you can refill your bottle at the breakfast table before you leave your hotel for the day. It's a good way to stay hydrated, which is important when we travel, and it's a great souvenir when you get home. You do not have to use the backpacks on the motor coach, but I will admit they are very handy to have. Oh my goodness, there's Sam Yoon. He's big news right now, everybody. If we have any Outlander fans, they just announced it this week. Sam, who was the lead in Outlander, Jamie, if you will, he will be the Grand Marshal of the New York City Tartan Day Parade this April. So we're very excited about that at CIE. Of course, our office is in Morristown, New Jersey. I live in New York City. I might have to make an appearance. It's a lot closer to Midtown than it is to the Highlands. Anyways, these are some scenes of Scotland to get us excited. I will talk about some of these places as we continue on tonight. And oh man, look at that. If Scotland is visiting my best friend, then to me, Ireland feels like going home. And that's how I hope all of you will feel after doing this tour. It's just fabulous. The scene on the bottom right, what a fantastic way to end a day of touring and exploring, whether you want to have a pint, maybe a wee dram, a little whiskey, or perhaps a cup of tea, right? You can have a cup of tea at the pub. Nothing wrong with that. Something for everybody, but that Irish traditional music is always a big hit with our guests. And I'll mention this when I talk about hotels in a moment. Oftentimes you can have a great night out without actually leaving your hotel. Ooh, what do I mean by that? I mean, sometimes there is some local people that will come to the hotel bar, pub, and they will do some music. So that's something you can ask your tour director about. And trad music, it's very popular, it's enjoyable, and there's nothing like it. Not only can you take in the great music, but you can meet a lot of locals this way. A lot of fun. Okay, talking about hotels. So we're going to begin things at the Doubletree. This is in Glasgow. I happen to really like this city. So it used to be a big shipping city. Glasgow has really changed with the times. Great food scene here. So if you decide to do a pre-night, to do a little extra touring and exploring on your own, definitely check out the different travel shows, Rick Steves, Anthony Bourdain, the list goes on and on. But there are some fantastic restaurants to be had in Glasgow. This is a cute little hotel because if you've ever stayed in a DoubleTree, we all know they have the little cookie, and it is centrally located in the heart of the city. So we pick our hotels for a reason, and location is obviously a big part of that. All right. As you guys continue through the Scottish Highlands, you'll have a night at the Muthu Newton Hotel. This is a charming, really historic property, as you can see, 4-star. This is a true retreat, and you are up in the Scottish Highlands. I love it. I love that we are located somewhere, which means not so much time on the motor coach. Motor coaches are Mercedes, very comfortable, but you're never on board longer than an hour, hour and a half at a time. We're constantly stopping for photos, of course, for the different visitor attraction and experiences. But again, we really pick great properties that break up your travel. The Dalmahoy Hotel, 2 nights here, built, oh my gosh, way back, 1725. So it is phenomenal. Just keep in mind, you are about 7 miles from Edinburgh City Centre, but it's a quick taxi ride, and this property just, I'm looking at the picture on the right-hand side. I remember having breakfast in that room. It's so cozy. You really feel like a lord or lady when you're staying here. Some fabulous hotels. It's time to talk about our time, though, in Dublin. The Hyatt-centric in the Liberties Dublin. The Liberties is a neighborhood in Dublin. It is very trendy right now. Rent is through the roof. But this particular hotel, I was just there at the end of September. Phenomenal. It is a bit more modern, but the staff is so fabulous. They have a beautiful restaurant and a really lovely bar, and there is a fantastic pub just next door. Not to mention walking distance of so many tourist attractions, of course, but I mean, anything you could need is a 10-minute walk, 5-minute walk across the street. The Killarney Avenue Hotel. Oh man, this is class. 2 nights here, so it's a nice paced tour. You know, you get to enjoy Killarney. This is in the heart of Killarney Town Centre, which means you go one way, loads of restaurants and pubs. You go another way, loads of restaurants, shops, and pubs. Fabulous. And across the street is Killarney National Park. Beautiful setting. This would be where I go to do my shopping, my souvenir shopping, but also if I'm looking for that traditional Irish music. The Limerick Strand Hotel will have a night here. This is in the heart of Limerick City, and it's beautiful. You're overlooking the River Shannon. And we'll end things at the Ashling Hotel, which is in Dublin. Oop, sorry, I skipped ahead there, guys. Sorry about that. The Ashling Hotel is another great property, 4-star. It's near Dublin City Centre, so I'll be very honest with you guys about a 15-minute walk to Guinness Storehouse and the like. However, it is very easy to get taxis in Dublin. Tap to pay is widely accepted, credit cards. In taxis and Uber, there's other apps that you can use similar to Uber to get around and to enjoy your free time. But of course, Dublin is a walkable city. Okay, let's talk about our day-by-day itinerary. Remember, everything that you see, whatever I mention, all included. I love that. So our tour is going to begin in Scotland and Glasgow. We're going to depart from our hotel at 2 o'clock. You'll have a panoramic tour of the city. I mentioned it has such a history with shipping and shipbuilding. Lots of interesting architecture, and it's just beautiful. As a group, you'll visit Kellingrove Art Gallery and Museum. Again, this is just so beautiful. Right now, they have some pieces by Rembrandt, by Dali. There's something for everybody. You'll return to your hotel and have a welcome drink with your group. And at the welcome drink, that's a nice time to meet the rest of your group formally. And your tour director is going to give you a rundown, what to expect the next day, and then, of course, for the rest of the tour. You'll have dinner that night with your group at the hotel. Day 2, some of my favorite pictures are here. You'll travel north up passing Loch Lomond. Some of us have heard of Loch Lomond. It's a beautiful area in Scotland. Sorry about that. I always think of that song, The Bonnie Bonnie Banks of Loch Lomond. And again, through Glencoe, this is a very historic area in Scotland, and you'll start to see those mountains The way the light plays off the mountains is so beautiful, you guys. Even if you get a little bit of rain, some cloud cover, as you can see, it actually makes it more beautiful, more dramatic, more stunning. And you'll have a cruise on Loch Ness. That's that picture at the bottom there. The cruise on Loch Ness is so fun. I remember they talk about how deep the lake it can get, and it's a little overwhelming to hear those numbers. But oh God, it's beautiful. That's Urquhart Castle that you'll see there by the little ferry. Lots of fun on that cruise on day 2. And dinner is included. While I'm talking about meals, keep in mind breakfast is included every day except day of arrival. And my God, breakfast will certainly fill everybody up. There's something for everybody, from toast and pastry to yogurt parfait, sometimes even smoothies, of course, fresh fruit, bangers and not mash, but yes, different sausages. Blood sausage is available. Different types of eggs are available. Anyway, each hotel, of course, offers something a little different, but seriously, everybody, breakfast will get you ready for the day ahead. Day 3. This might be one of my favorites on your tour. Blair Athol Distillery up on the top there. Beautiful. Yep, a distillery can be beautiful. I love how the ivy crawls up the sides of the main building there. And, throughout the year, the ivy, especially in the fall and winter, changes into beautiful reds, golden yellows, and even browns. It's gorgeous. But great spot, by the way, to get a group picture. So Jennifer and Mike, I would love to see a group photo from you and your group in front of the distillery. Yes, you guys will get a chance for a little drink before you continue on to St. Andrews. And if I'm not mistaken, is that where William and Kate met when they were in college? It is a college town, but it's also home to golf. You'll have a panoramic drive and then free time. Something for everybody in St. Andrews. Some people enjoy walking on the beach. Others will play putt-putt golf. Again, that's on your free time, so that wouldn't be included. There's a golf shop, obviously a lot of shops for golf enthusiasts, but it's a great place to do souvenir shopping. So many little shops, a lot of fun in St. Andrews. And then you'll continue down into Edinburgh for your hotel, which sits on 1,000 acres. So yes, you are outside of the city center, but it's a beautiful place to stay. Oh, and there you go, guys. There's your wee dram. An important thing to know, when we're in Scotland, when we're talking about Scottish whiskey, it is spelled Whisky. When we're in Ireland, that word changes a little. It ends with an EY. So that's a little bit of fun for you. All right, day 4, Edinburgh. Edinburgh is my favorite city that CIE brings our guests to. I love how we have both an old and new town. The picture on the left there, that's Edinburgh Castle. It was built on top of volcanic rock. It is a bit high up. It looks down on the city. And as you can see, it was very imposing when it was built, and it still is. So you guys will visit the castle together with the group. And it's so much fun. I personally love walking up and down the Royal Mile. You'll have a chance to see the Scottish crown jewels. And if memory serves me right, I have a picture here, but you will not be allowed to take pictures of the crown jewels yourselves. They're very strict about that rule, but they're allowed to be, right? The rest of the day is free. So Edinburgh is the kind of city where you can easily go off, get lost, have a fabulous time. Your tour director will let you know what time to be back at the hotel. That way you can enjoy a Scottish evening with your group. And there you go. That's the bottom photo there. Scottish evening means some storytelling, some singing and dancing, lots of great music. Day 5, we're going to leave Edinburgh. We'll travel on to the coast. We're going to travel as we go west. And you guys will have a ferry ride over to Belfast. It's a big ferry. You really don't feel the waves or anything. It's very, in my opinion, very peaceful, very serene and pretty. The big old motor coach goes on, and then you can enjoy the boat for a little bit. Anyways, on to Belfast we go together. We'll have a panoramic drive through the city. You'll see where the Titanic was built, and you'll visit Titanic Belfast. This tells the story of that historic ship, how that ship impacted not just Belfast City, because that's where it was built, but also Ireland, right? So many Irish people helped build that ship, but sadly, many people from Ireland were on that ship and did not survive. But it's a very interesting visitor center. On to Dublin, well, you'll have some free time. The rest of the evening is yours, independent. Day 6, we're in Dublin. We're going to have a panoramic tour with a local guide. We love that when a local guide joins the group. And they're going to share the history of this city, point out the Georgian buildings, show you where Trinity College is, the River Liffey, which is pictured there on the left-hand side. You'll visit Christ Church Cathedral. This church has a history that goes back over 1,000 years, a very special place. And then at night, I'm very excited for you guys. You're going to do something that's really special. You're going to have dinner on a former Guinness barge as you cruise the Grand Canal. And as you enjoy your meal, traditional Irish music will be playing for you live. How amazing is that? And that's what the picture there on the bottom is. I think this is pretty cool that we were able to get this for you, because anything right now having to do with Guinness and Guinness family history is super popular right now. Some of you may have Netflix and have seen the show, the Guinness show, all about that family. I love it. I got a little sucked into it when it first came out. So I'm really happy that we could get this for your group. People rave about this dinner experience. And I mean, for me, having that traditional Irish music, taking in those beautiful sights, very special, very different. Day 7, have your cameras and your cell phones charged, ready to go. You're going to travel through the Irish countryside. You'll see the 40 Shades of Green, and we'll go to a farm. You'll have some tea and scones and watch the sheepdogs at work. It is amazing the way these dogs work with the farmers, their handlers, what they're able to do, the demonstrations they give. And I'm telling you, scones in Ireland are just above and beyond. Make sure to put a little bit of jam and your clotted cream on there. Beautiful. You'll go to Blarney Castle. Climb up those little steps. If you like, you can kiss the stone. You don't have to. Blarney Castle has some beautiful gardens. And there's the Woolen Mills, which is about a 5-minute walk from the castle. Fabulous shopping and some good food. After that, on to Killarney, where you'll have dinner with your group. And this is another special dinner, the Gaelic Roots Irish Dance and Music Show. So again, this is very special that you guys get to do this. I love this tour. I have to say, this to me should be called the best of Scotland and Ireland, because you really get to do the best of each country. Day 8, fabulous. Going to take a jaunting car ride through Killarney National Park. You'll pass Ross Castle and take in scenes like these here of Loch Lean, Lake Lean, if you will. Then we'll go through the Gap of Dunloe. You'll have a chance to do some shopping at Moriarty's. And then we'll explore some of the Ring of Kerry. So basically, it's like that picture on the bottom. You have the rugged, beautiful green farmland on one side. And then on the other side of the road, I mean, very intense coast. I mean, sometimes the drops are a little scary, but don't worry, we're doing the driving. You'll visit the Skellig Experience. If we have any Star Wars fans, they did a lot of filming for the newer Star Wars movies out on Skellig Michael. And then lunch with the group at Mole's Gap. We'll be stopping throughout the day for photos, for bathroom breaks. But the Mole's Gap, that's a really nice lunch. Back to Killarney Town, where the rest of the day is free for you. Free evening to do dinner on your own. This would be the night that I would try to catch some local music, for sure. Day 9 brings us across the River Shannon. Again, we're taking another little ferry, very nice ferry ride. And you guys will visit the Cliffs of Moher. 700 feet above the Atlantic. There's the picture there. I took that picture. I asked that little birdie to stay put while I took it. The weather can change very quickly on the Irish coast. We're on the west coast now. So just make sure on this day you wear some smart shoes and dress in layers, because you might be, you might get a little chilly at the cliffs because the wind can certainly pick up. So that's a great day to dress in layers. On to your hotel. You'll have time to freshen up before you go to a castle for a medieval feast. This is so much fun, and that's the picture there on the bottom right. Day 10, you're going to explore Galway, a guided walking tour with a local. We work with a man named Brian Nolan. He's fantastic, as is his entire team. They're going to show you where to shop. Perhaps you're looking for some claddagh. Maybe you're looking for an Irish sweater, whatever it may be. I love Galway because that scene on the top right-hand side, 5-minute walk from there, and you have views of Galway Bay and all the beautiful boats. It's a fabulous city. It is a college town, make no mistake, very lively, great place for shopping. You'll have some free time after your walking tour, and then back to Dublin, where the rest of the day is free. So whatever you didn't get to do earlier in Dublin, now's your time to do it. On day 11, sadly, your tour comes to an end. I always share a picture of a breakfast. That's just an example, not the healthiest breakfast, but that is what we're going to get over there, right? So fresh juice, amazing coffee and tea, by the way, toast, pastry, pancakes, eggs, you name it, they have it. And because we're leaving out of Ireland, something I enjoy is pre-clearance out of Dublin Airport for American passport holders, which is always so nice. You'll have a lovely, safe flight home, and sadly, your vacation has come to an end. But how amazing is this package that Jennifer and Mike picked for you guys? Everything is included. We do cover quite a bit of ground, but having those 2-night stays sprinkled throughout the program really allows you to relax and enjoy. So everybody, on behalf of CIE, that is our taste of Scotland and Ireland. Jennifer, Mike, was there anything I missed? Anything you guys would like to add before we open it up for questions?
I don't think we have anything to add at the moment, but unless we want to do questions first, and then we'll probably think of something right along the way.
Fabulous. Okay. So guys, in the question or chat box, feel free to send over some questions. We'll take a moment. I'll give everybody a moment. Perfect. Okay, so guys, Jennifer and Mike, I have a question about currency. So what kind of money do they use in Scotland, and then what kind of money do they use in Ireland? Would you guys like to answer that, or shall I?
I know that they're going to be using 2 different forms of currency, and I believe in Ireland it's the euro, and Scott, I have it backwards.
No, you're right. In Ireland, it is the euro, and in Northern Ireland and in Scotland, it's the pound sterling.
Pound, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Or you could use your credit card and.
Oh yeah.
Not have to worry about carrying too much cash.
Yeah, that's a great thing to bring up. So it's changed for me over the years, but I don't typically walk around Manhattan with too much cash on me ever. So I really don't change that when I travel. I typically will hit up a cash machine at a reputable bank once I get overseas. I have a colleague who actually will use the ATM in Dublin Airport. Fine, totally fine. Sometimes, depending on everyone's bank and their preferences, sometimes it's actually cheaper to do it that way versus trying to get euros here from your local bank. Times are changing. I also feel like there's a benefit for me. I don't want to be on an airplane with like a bunch of cash in my wallet and be nervous about it. So that's what I tend to do. That's just my personal preference. Okay.
Yeah, and usually we've been told that it's better to do it through an ATM over in Europe.
Yep.
Usually like a bank ATM instead of a cash exchange, because it's lesser cost.
Correct.
To do that as well.
Yeah. Okay, we have some good questions coming over. So we have a question from Keith, any chance you can play St. Andrews while you're there, or is that really hard to get a tea time? I will let you guys answer that if you like.
You can, you might have to sneak out onto the course, but it is hard to get a tea time, but we can probably see if we can pre-book you something if you would like to get a round of golf in.
Yeah, and keep in mind they offer some putt-putt golf. I know it's not the same, but for time-wise, that might be more doable, especially for people that aren't super into golf. But then they can say, like, I did it. I golfed at St. Andrews. My
And
my
I'm
family
pretty,
didn't believe it, but I did it.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure Keith is a big pickleball fan, so he might want to play pickleball while he's over there.
Oh my goodness, he should come to the Upper East Side. That's all they do here now. No
We'll make
pick,
sure he brings
no.
we'll make sure he brings his pickleball
Oh my
rackets.
God, he wrote no pickleball explanation. That's very funny. Okay, how are meals provided? Are they on a per diem basis, limited menu, drinks? Great question from Ted. So, when you guys look, like I said, breakfast every day except day of arrival is included. Coffee and tea is included, as well as different juices. Occasionally, there'll be smoothies included. As far as the lunches and the dinners, yes, those would be a preset menu. So if you do have any food allergies or anything we need to know about, I'm trying to think, what's another thing besides food allergies? Um, any stipulations with food, right?
If anyone's a
Yep,
vegetarian
there you
or
go. There you go. Any
um,
preferences?
gluten-free, only
Gluten
eats
free.
red meat,
Yes,
you
yes.
know.
Thank you guys. So that would be something you need to tell us, especially early on when you start the booking process with Jennifer and Mike. Um, okay, preset menus. What does that actually mean? So I've done many of these tours. I've done this tour actually. And what that would mean would be, let's say at the hotel, and it's a 4-star hotel. I have to say the restaurants at the properties we use, especially these, are quite good. Because sometimes as Americans we hear hotel dinner, ugh, but no, they're quite delicious. So it usually would be like a beef or a chicken, a pasta dish would be available, and then fish, whatever fish is in season. So if you start to see the same type of fish over and over, you're not losing your mind. It's what's in season when you're overseas visiting. And I will say this, in both Ireland and Scotland, they do seafood quite well. So give it a try. Um, and as far as what you'll have available on that barge or, the lunch, I won't, I don't have the exact menu that comes to mind. But again, if you have any allergies, gluten-free, vegetarian, vegan, etc., let your travel agent know that well in advance. And our restaurants and venues work very hard to accommodate everybody. Um, for the nights and the afternoons where you have the evening is free at leisure, let's say in Dublin, that's on you, right? So that would be up to you. You can do anything that night. Some people will have an appetizer at the hotel bar and a beer and they go to bed. Others go for a long walk and just find a little restaurant. I mean, I've had nights where I'm hosting a tour, co-hosting one, and I will admit it to you guys. I have hit up McDonald's and gone to bed early. It is totally up to you guys. Um, I actually had pizza recently in Ireland and I thought to myself, what am I doing? But it's all up to you. And I think the free time is a good opportunity if you need a rest, if you just want something little. If you had breakfast and lunch with the group, you might not want a big meal at night, right? Um, Anyways, Killarney's another great place for that free time. So basically, whenever there's free time, if that overlaps with a meal time, that would be for you to figure out on your own. However, don't be like shy to ask your tour director for advice. If you're looking for a good place for, let's say, fish and chips in Galway, your tour guide is going to tell you, go to McDonald's and they'll show you where it is, right? Your local walking guide in Galway will show you the fish and chips place. I had free time recently, you guys, you'll laugh at this, Mike and Jennifer. A friend met me. He drove in 2 hours away. Okay, where do you want to go? And I said, let's get fish and chips. So we went to the spot to go, McDonald's. We're about halfway done with our little meal. It's a little tiny takeaway. I look up. There are 25 travel agents walking in with the tour director. My face turned red. My friend looked at me. And of course, the whole group, ooh, is Jerry on a date? No, I'm with a local. And what I loved about that was he was Irish, right, my buddy? And I said to them the next day, you guys thought you caught me being naughty. No, no. You caught me having a good meal. Anyway, we will tell you at CIE where we personally go. We want our guests to have such a great time. Cell phone service. That's a great question. Do you guys want to answer that, or would you like me to?
Well, this is true with traveling on a cruise to Europe, to Australia, wherever you go, is check with your carrier first to see if you're covered in those locations. If not, you can add an international plan with your carrier. So a lot of the hotels and the bus will have Wi-Fi.
Yep.
But when you're out of those areas, out of the hotel, and you don't have a plan, then you won't be able to use your phone except for pictures. But make sure that your provider will convey the message to you that if you are covered in those locations with a data plan. So.
Yeah. And if there's two people from one household, maybe you only choose to have one phone activated to have local service. But honestly, our motor coaches do have Wi-Fi on board. It works very, very well. It works really well. Now, that being said, when you are way up in the Scottish Highlands or on the rugged Irish wild Atlantic Way, yeah, it can get a little spotty because, hello, we're in the mountains and we're on the beach. But for the most part, I would say, yes, you'll have Wi-Fi available throughout. And it has changed so much, you guys. It is pretty much available, I would say 95% of the hotel properties for free. When you check into the hotel, they'll give you the room key, and instructions to get on the Wi-Fi are either on the key itself or you'll have a little welcome packet in your room. So that's good to know. Okay. Are there any pre or post nights available? Great question. Mike, Jennifer, do you want to take that? Or are you offering that for this tour?
We have checked that box to inquire about pre and post nights. So that's something that we'll need to get with you on to see how many we can do on the front and back end and what our cost will be for the group. So we wanted to get this part done, but you can enlighten us on how many we can do pre and post, and then we can get the cost out to our guests who are going to be booking.
Perfect. Great questions from Ted. Are there any parts of the tour that are more physically challenging or maybe even non-accessible? So that's a great question. I can field that one for you guys if you like.
Yes.
The motor coaches are modern and they're what we call kneeling. So at most stops where we're parked, the driver can lower the motor coach a little just so that first step up feels a little bit less. As I get older and older, I appreciate that more and more. So that's nice. If you do have a cane or a walker, that's fine. Technically, it is up to you or your travel companion to be able to get off and on the motor coach independently, but that doesn't mean we won't lend you a helping hand. As far as things being accessible, I will say in Edinburgh, there are areas of the city where it is cobblestone streets, which are absolutely beautiful, beautiful. But make sure you wear smart shoes. And yes, they can be a little tricky if you have some mobility issues. Now, that being said, that would be a great time to talk to the tour director to get his opinion on things. And maybe you decide to take a taxi to get from Old Town to New Town, right? If there's something you want to see or do versus walking. Blarney Castle. I have kissed the stone a couple of times. I'm not allowed to kiss it anymore. I would never stop speaking. No, kidding. But if anybody here has gone up the Statue of Liberty, funny enough, that reminded me of Blarney because the steps are very, very short. and they're not very wide. So if you have a fear of heights, let alone mobility issues, then going up those steps is probably not for you. However, that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the beauty of the castle. You can get phenomenal photos, even selfies, from the gardens with the castle as your backdrop. So keep that in mind. The Cliffs of Moher, very similar. I mean, this is Europe. That picture, our background, those are the cliffs there. Some people choose to walk up to one area, they get their pictures, they go to the visitor center, which is handicap accessible, and then they're done. They sit and have a cup of tea, they watch people. Great. Other people use that 2 hours or whatever our allotted time is, and they walk as far as possible, up an incline, up a little bit of the mountain. That wouldn't be me, by the way, but that's okay. And then they make their way back to the motor coach. Fabulous. Again, right? It's all how you guys feel. Nobody knows you better than you know yourself. But that's where having that tour director who does this week after week is going to be very helpful and handy. I always say it's not just about being able to do something. I want you to be able to do it and enjoy it. And we don't want anybody to get hurt. So that would be my big speech about that. While they are very, mindful, and things are accessible in public areas, restaurants, certain visitor attractions. Of course, if you're visiting a castle, there's no lift at a castle, right? This is an ancient place that we want to keep it the way it looked when it was built. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Recommended amount of luggage. So you are allowed the one big suitcase for the motor coach, and then you can have a carry-on. So whether the carry-on is, the backpack or similar. Ladies, you can have the backpack as well as a pocketbook. That's fine. And of course, if you do a bit of shopping throughout the day, totally fine. Now, if you do a ton of shopping, like some of my girlfriends, then the driver might say to you, is it okay if we put some of this in the belly of the bus just so you're not banging into people with your bags? Totally fine. Totally fine.
Okay, so regarding the luggage question, so one large bag and a backpack, what if a couple did a large bag, a couple small carry-on bags and a backpack? Or is it?
Yeah, that would be fine. That would be fine.
Okay, just not a bunch of bags, like 2 large bags.
Yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't say have a large rolling luggage and a small rolling luggage and then a small overnight. Yeah, too much. And remember, after you get to that first hotel, you have your welcome drink that first night. Your tour director is going to say, okay, everybody, this is our plan for the next, 10 days, whatever. And he's going to say, tomorrow morning, breakfast is available, and I'm just making this up, everybody. Breakfast is available from 6:30 to 10:30. Now, and he'll say, the motor coach is leaving at 9:30. Bags need to be outside your room by 8:30. Do with that information as you will. Make sure your bags are out on time. As long as your bags are out on time, I love this part. The hotel staff and your driver, your tour director, work together with the hotel staff, and those bags magically get from outside your room door in the hotel to the motor coach to the next room. I love that. So my big piece of advice is obviously pay attention and be on time. It's magical. It feels like, I don't even know, somebody else is just helping you out. It's almost like you're in Downton Abbey. Someone's carrying your luggage for you. It's great. Now, every day, not every day, you're not changing hotels, but every day the driver guide will let you know what the plan is for the next day. And he writes it on a piece of paper or types it out, and it's kept in like the lobby of your hotel. So what I recommend is take a photo of that every day, so that way you remember, you don't have to memorize it. So that's how we know what we're doing for the rest of the day and the next day. Recommended. Oh, okay. Appropriate dress attire for the dinners, cathedral, etc. For the daytime touring and exploring, yeah, you can be you can be quite casual. Now, of course, in a cathedral, that's just me. I would say it's nice to be respectful of where we're visiting, of course. But dressing and packing in layers, no matter what you're doing, is best. Um, as far as dinner goes, it doesn't have to be fancy schmancy. Um, Jeans are okay. Um, I wouldn't show up to dinner in yoga pants. That's just me. Maybe a nice top, khakis or the like, or jeans for gentlemen and ladies. Absolutely fine. Some people get a little more dressed. It's up to you. And you will get a little booklet which addresses all these types of questions with your backpack for both your destinations. So, um, how to best contact family who live there? Email, phone, text, or other. Do you guys want to address that?
You mean family who live in Ireland and Scotland?
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. Marcia, if you have like a follow up to that, let us know. Um, yeah, I mean, you can obviously let people know. You'll know what dates you're at each hotel and in each town, but Mike and Jennifer will not have an exact breakdown of time of arrival, right? We'll know that we're arriving in Killarney in the afternoon, but they won't know the exact time until a couple of days before.
Yeah,
So,
and we'll have an idea how long we'll be there also, just not the exact down to the minute time, but we'll know how long
yep.
we'll be on a location. So that'll give you an idea if you're going to meet up with a friend or a relative in that location,
Yeah.
to let them know we're going to be in that vicinity between a given window.
Yeah. When I met my friend, you guys, I had to do what you're mentioning. I gave him a window of time, because we had a day of touring. I had a presentation to give and then accompany the group to drinks. So my gosh, it was tricky, but he knew that ahead of time. So there was
Yeah,
less pressure and it was
but
fine.
if,
Yeah.
but if
Yeah.
we're also if we're just passing through, that's different. But if we're actually spending a night or two,
Oh, yeah.
then that gives you more time to meet up with a friend or relative.
Correct. And by the way, I don't like to promote this too much, but let's say you arrive at a hotel and you are now going to be at that hotel for 2 nights. And perhaps Marcia skips the group dinner to go do something with her fabulous cousins. That's fine. You won't get money back for any experiences or meals that you don't partake in. You would just let Mike and Jennifer know, I'm going to be with my family tonight for dinner, so I won't be having the meal with the group. Please let the tour director know. I don't like to shout that from the mountaintop, but it's okay to do. Just like if on the first night the welcome drink is happening, this does happen. Sometimes people are a little jet lagged. They don't want to do the welcome drink. That's okay. Just let your tour director, or in this case, as well as, your group leader know, and they'll get you the information you need. That way you know what the deal is for the next morning. Totally fine. It's totally fine. We have Ted asking about airfare.
Um, we are going to get with, well, we can do custom air, or we can get with CIE. And the way I understand it with CIE is we're going to try to get, like, if I'm correct, like a bulk price for air, or we can do it standalone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And by the way, if anybody has points or they're deviating, maybe some people like to travel before the tour begins. They can. I would just say reach out to Mike and Jennifer and make sure you know what the first hotel is and what time to be there. That way you don't miss the beginning of your tour. So.
Yeah, so we can get with people on an individual basis on that to see if we want to come in early, depart later, a couple days. And if I read that correctly with CIE, if we use CIE Air, certain transfers are probably included.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Correct. Correct. All right. I believe we got all the questions. This was a really engaging group, which I love. So if it's okay with Mike and Jennifer, I'd like to give a small gift away to one of you that joined us live. I'm sorry to anybody listening to the recording, but those are the breaks. We will advise who the winner is tomorrow. and then I will send that little gift out to you tomorrow. So that's fun and something to look forward to. Did you guys have anything else that you wanted to mention about this particular tour?
Just that we're going with, so it'll be, extra fun because we'll be there.
So and then whoever's on the webinar this evening, if you are going to take this tour, we already have people that are booking, so we want to make sure we get your spot filled if you're going to go. And if you choose to bring any other family members or friends, we're going to try to make this a fun, special trip for everybody, not just because we're going, but we're wanting to travel with like-minded people who want to see Ireland and Scotland. So that's our take on it. Is it's going to be fun, engaging, and we're going to see things we may not have seen before if you've never been to that part of the world.
I love it. It's a great time to talk about vacations. It's a really welcoming, friendly part of the world. So thank you guys for working with CIE on this departure.
Well, and thank you for doing this webinar with us. We love sharing this information and letting people know what we're doing next.
I love it. I'm going to end now.